Hey, it's time to dish with D. That's me. Thank you for clicking on this video, making yourself a priority. I am Denise. It is Saturday, and on Saturday, it is my day to visit the WW studio in Turnersville, New Jersey for my weigh-in. And here I give you the weekly topic du jour. Yes, I am a meetings member attendee. I love going to meetings. It's just, I do. If you can afford it, I always highly suggest that you go. So how did your week go, Dave? Let's start with that. My week was okay. It was good. Was it great? I actually never great. I very rarely hear me have a great week. We had a party over the weekend, a Halloween party that I indulged. It was Halloween. I didn't indulge as much as I usually do. I just had one piece of chocolate, and it's one of those sugar-free chocolates. But I was the same this week. I'll take it. Win. I'm just trying to coast till the new program launches. And plus it's the holidays. So do I want to lose? Realistically, that's a little bit of a, I just want to stay the same or in the general area from now till January. If I could stay right here on January 1st, I'd be happy because I indulge. It's Thanksgiving. It's Christmas. It's Christmas time. There's parties. I definitely indulge this time of year, and I have since I've been on plan. I do, because holidays only come once a year. If you don't indulge, then you're on a diet, and I'm not on a diet. I'm on a lifestyle, and lifestyle, sometimes you have days where you just indulge a little bit. But as long as you have most of your days on track, it's a good thing. So, what's my way? Oh, I get my recipe card when I go. This week it is sheet pan sausage with peppers, onions, and potatoes. So that's what it looks like. And who doesn't love a good sheet pan? Oh, I love sheet pans. And there's the QR code to take you to the app for your personal points. We won't be having to do that soon, now will we? It is 5 to 7 points, depending on what your 0-point foods are. I did ask my leader, and she's very like, this is her answer. It's trying to big change. She didn't deny it. It's a big change. It's really, and in reality, for some people, it's not that big of a change because the algorithm, that's the huge one when the algorithm changes, because then points change. Points are not changing. Our 0-point foods are. And she even said, she goes, some of those foods, in my opinion, shouldn't have been 0. I agree. Rice and pasta were my two that I don't think should be 0. Potatoes, it's technically a vegetable. Avocado, it's a fat. It's a good fat, but it's a fat nonetheless. Oats is another one. I overdo oats, so it can't be 0 for me. But like corn is and popcorn, I think that is okay as long as it's not, like I said. So she definitely, to the WW community, that's why like you people, they'll say, because then it's no big deal because you're not really changing anything major. She didn't know anything about the weeklies. I was hoping I'd get some answers about the weeklies, but she didn't give me any answer about that. But yeah, so it's definitely coming down. It's just, like I said, to them it's no biggie because the algorithm's the same. So that's usually always a big, huge change. This is just the zeros. And it's mostly the protein zeros are staying the same. And you're losing all your, I call them carb zeros, your potatoes, your rice, your pastas, your oats, your avocado. We are gaining popcorn and non-fat cottage cheese, which we didn't have on the blue plan. So that's it. Stay the same. Changes are coming. To them, it's no big deal, and I get that. But for some of us who hate personal points, yeah, like I said, for me, I just need to see a higher daily point than, and having certain zeros. Like, I like having fruit as 0. Do I have fruit every day? I don't. But when I want it to be 0. And I'm not going to choose it because I lose daily points. So I'm happy to have my fruit back as 0. So I'm super stoked about that. So, all right, what's this week's topic, D? It is how to hack your home or office or car to stay on track. Because remember, a lot of us work from home. So some of our homes are our offices. So how do we make an environment for us to stay on track? That's basically it. Beth James, let's see what she has to say. A hot interior design life tip. You can tweak the setup of your space to encourage healthy habits. You can. I don't have a lot of these things. Like she talked about having a candy dish out. Honestly, I've never had a candy dish out. I don't know. Maybe around the holidays we'd put like the Christmas M&Ms out, but on the whole, I don't put a candy dish out. I don't know. I just never did. I don't think my mother ever did either. Maybe that's why I don't. We never had a candy dish out, so I don't feel the need to have a candy dish out. So that like didn't work for me. I don't worry about that one because I don't have a candy dish. But she was also suggesting putting the foods that we need to have more of in the forefront of everything. Front of your refrigerator. Maybe a fruit bowl on the counter. So things like that, like things that we should be grabbing should be closest to us. Like we don't need to push something aside that's not on plan to get to something we need in the back. Our stuff should be up front, and the not so good stuff should be a little further back. It's still there. It's just not in your stuff. The first thing that hits you when you open the door of a cabinet or a refrigerator. It should be something like that, because we'll be like, ooh, I didn't think about that, but now that I've seen it, I want it. Out of sight, out of mind, or at least out of direct sight. So she said, try this. I thought I'd give you my spiel before I see what she has to say. Create a visual cues for what you want to do. Swap your countertop candy dish for a fruit bowl. Now, my problem with that is I don't like hot fruit. If I'm having an apple, it needs to be cold. If I'm having a pear, it needs to be cold. Having grapes, they need to be cold. I don't know what fruit I would eat hot. So that don't work for me. My fruit bowl cannot be on the counter. Bananas, that's about it. Other than that, everything is in the fridge. That's just how we've always had it. Bring 0-point foods to the front of your fridge. Beth James and I are connected. We get along really well. I didn't you notice that? Help out future you. Store your meal prep tools where they can be easily accessed. While cleaning up dinner, take out everything you need to make breakfast. I mean, something you can't prep scrambled eggs, but you can prep overnight oats right as you're getting ready for breakfast. Dinner. Clean up from dinner. I'm going to sneeze. Hold on. Thank you. I could edit that out, but I am who I am, and I sneeze occasionally. And thank you for all you said. God bless you. Designate rooms or places for healthier behaviors. Movie screens out of the bedroom so you can focus on sleep, not TV or TikTok. I will say, it's something I don't have. I don't keep my phone in my bedroom. My phone is plugged in downstairs because I don't need to hear. I don't have much notifications on anyway, but I don't need to hear. I'm in bed. Bed is bed. I do have a TV, but I very rarely ever use. Steve uses it more than I do. He usually puts it on when he's getting ready to watch the news or sports or something. But when I'm going to bed, I'm going to bed. So I don't really need that. But I get that, why they would say that. And I don't, like I said, I don't keep my phone upstairs. Nope, no need. I have designated times of the day to check emails, comments. Like, see, since I have a YouTube, I have people, lovelies, who comment. So if you wonder why, I only do it certain times of the day. So if you, why isn't Dee answering me? Because it's not her time to check comments. I try to, keep it organized. It's almost like a work. You don't work 24 hours a day. So why would I check comments 24 hours a day? So there's certain times of the day I do check them. Make your table the only place to eat when you're home. We do that. We don't eat anywhere else. I was never a person, when we were growing up, my parents, no, you were not allowed to bring food upstairs. That was a no-no. So when my kids, I didn't let them bring food upstairs. That's the bedroom. It's not a place to eat. Only if they were sick. And that was very rare that they were ever sick and they couldn't come down. We always ate at the kitchen table. Yep, that was huge for us. Got habits you want to stop, disrupt, or your default? Store food you may see, and then mindlessly overeat in rarely used cabinets or the back of your fridge or freezer. Yes, or in containers you can't see through, because if you see it, makes you want it. Out of sight, out of mind. Move your alarm clock across the room to avoid snoozing through the morning workout. I don't snooze. I got out of that habit. Oh gosh, been in my early 20s. I realized that snoozing makes me tired. I try to tell my boys that they snooze constantly. I'm telling you, it's not even REM sleep when you're in that yet. Maybe it is REM sleep. What's the sleep that you're really not in total sleep? You feel tired when you hit snooze. So I get right up now and I know that, but I think the boys always do that. Set your workout clothes next to it. Yeah, we don't work out in the morning, but I get where that would come in handy for people. Some people put their workout gear like by the door so they bring it with them, or when they come home they see their workout shoes, so they'll change shoes and go right on the treadmill or take a walk, which is a good idea. Like have your, your walking shoes when you come in right by the door so you can put them right on and go right back out, because sometimes once you come home from work and sit down, you don't feel like going back out. Stash healthier grab-and-go eats in your car or at work so you aren't tempted to make drive-through detours. When I was at school, a lot of you know I used to be a teacher's aide up until recently, and I always at my desk had my prepackaged pretzels, I had bars, just snacky stuff if I needed something. 9 times out of 10 I didn't, because I only was there for 4 hours, but you just don't know. So rather than go in this lunchroom and grab something from the cafeteria, like chips or something, they have really good Toll House cookies in there that are fresh. I had stuff there that I could grab. So yeah, in the car, I don't keep anything in the car because of the temperature change. I keep it in my purse. So there's always a Built Bar or a Kind granola bar. Depends on my mood. Because sometimes I want Kind granola and sometimes I want a Built Bar, because Built Bars taste like candy bars. So if I want a candy bar or even a Bear Bell, that's what I gravitate towards. But I don't, like I said, if I'm out and I want a snack, that's only if I'm in no man's land. Because if I'm out and there's a Wawa, which is our convenience store here locally, I'll just go in there, because I did a whole video. If I remember to link it, I will, up in the iCards, that you'll see that little thing, and I think it's this side, that they have really good grab-and-go snacks. They have hard-boiled eggs, they have cheese sticks, they have yogurts, they have fresh fruit. So I'm more apt to go run in there and grab that. I'd rather have that than have a bar. But if I'm in no man's land and there's no Wawa in the area, and I just need to have that snack, then I have that bar in my purse. It's like, that's like for your, break, your emergencies only. It's like in a glass thing. So I try not to, because I'd rather have the Wawa snack than have the bar. Because the bar, to me, while good, it's just not satisfying. I'd rather have an egg or, even a cheese stick. They even have little charcuteries and stuff. So, and fruit. I just always grab a mixed fruit, and I usually grab eggs and usually something else. So that's usually my go-to. That's what I do. I'm not afraid of the, there are people that, oh my God, don't go through the drive-thru. Oh, you can go through the drive-thru. There are great options at fast food. I have a whole video on going through the drive-thru, and I will link that above as well, because let me tell you something. There's some good options. Are they great options? Some of them could be decent if you have the time. But to sit there and avoid fast food restaurants, then you're on a diet. I'm on a lifestyle, and I can pull through Chick-fil-A. I can pull through Burger King. I gave you a whole list of things and their menu and what you can get. And I think I gave you the points for it, if I'm not mistaken, because I looked everything up. So yeah, absolutely. Let's dive a little deeper. Have you ever been going about your day, then suddenly see, say, candy or cookies and just pop them in your mouth all the time? I save points for that. It's not mostly candy. It's mostly just pretzels. It's mostly than anything. Because again, I don't have candy out. Again, if you don't have it out, you can't eat it. So big fact there. Or if you have grandkids that come over and they want the candy out, well, when they come over, put the candy out. And when they're not, then put it away. That's how I do it. Most of us can probably relate. To see it urges it real. Oh, did I just not say that? Beth and I are compatible here. When you see it, you want it. Research suggests our environment often plays a big role in what we eat or do or what we don't. You could sit there and tell yourself, don't eat it. But having it out there is a temptation you don't need. Because do you really need to have that candy dish out? Is it necessary to have that candy dish out? If you're going to sit there and say, well, that's how I like it, then you're just giving yourself something else to fight during the day. Because let's face it, we fight enough with ourselves with food. We don't need a candy dish out there to make it worse. We don't. Luckily, you can harness its power by making healthy choices more visible, accessible, and easier, while also creating space that is less conducive to behaviors you want to change. Mindless snacking. And it doesn't only work for food. Try keeping your sneakers and earbuds by the door. I did read this. I'm telling you, I like this about James O'Keefe. Her and I are very similar. Yep. By the door for a prompt daily walk. Buy smaller plates to encourage right for you portions. The smaller plate thing, I used to be into that until you're somewhere else and you get a big ass plate and you're just like, what? has to be consistent. So your plate should be consistent. So as easy as that is to say, go get a small plate, it's a mind game. And when you wind up getting a regular plate, it looks sad again. Just you'll get used to seeing space. See, we're just used to seeing our plates full. We have to get used to seeing space. So the more you're used to seeing space, the more it'll seem normal. But when you sit there and crowd it on a small plate, you're just not helping that situation, in my opinion. Again, if you want to use a small plate, go for it. I tend to just use a regular plate. I will say, back in the day, I would be, oh yes, use a small plate. But you want to learn, you want to grow. And in order to do that, you have to see progress. And then when you see that you're doing that, the plate, it doesn't look as strange anymore to see space on your plate. I mean, I'm going to tell you, when I first seen space on my plate, I'd be like, oh my God, I don't have enough food. I did have enough food before I had too much food. So that you have to get yourself saying, this is enough, this is enough. And that's the new mindset I have. I eat till I'm not hungry anymore. I don't eat till I'm full. I eat till I'm not hungry anymore, so I'm going to stop. Especially at a restaurant, because you always have way too much food at a restaurant. So I always, I pull the plate, I ask the waitress, can I please have a box? I box it up before I change my mind. Because let me tell you, I have changed my mind. But I get it away, or I'll tell Steve, I don't want any more of this. Here, you eat it. And once he gets his fork in there, I don't want it anymore. Good tip. So, yep. But that's just me with the plate. I mean, I know a lot of people do that. I'm looking for growth for myself. So I need to show myself that is enough. By sitting there and making the plate smaller, it defeats the purpose. Because we want to grow, we want to evolve, we want to mature. We want to know that it's not a bad thing to see space on your plate. It's not. As we move into the season when high point foods and drinks may be plentiful, it's coming, and time for activity, meal prep, and sleep often becomes scarce, start asking yourself, how can I optimize my home, office, car, bedroom, wherever, to help keep me on track? Building these types of habits now can help you finish the year strong. And that's what this whole it's all about, finishing the year strong. It's all about building healthy habits and building things that build you up, make you confident, make you strong. And that's, there's a lot of us with that little chubby girl inside us that's still sad and I don't use the word unloved, because just not loved by society, and she's still in there. You may look different on the outside, but on the inside, you're still that girl who struggles. And people think just because you've lost weight that you got all under control. You're fine. No, it's always a struggle. It's always, we may always have to for a while till it becomes our new norm. And that's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take practice. And that's why I feel like the plate thing isn't doing us any good, because it's not showing us that it's okay to have space on your plate. It's okay not to have it full, because you're having enough. And, it is enough. And we will get used to that. And weighing and measuring always helps all that. So keep your foods up front. Keep the things that trigger you out of your eyesight. If it's chips, put them in a cabinet. My boys, and the leader kind of said maybe we all should be eating the same snacks. Well, my snacks are way more expensive than their snacks. So I'm not buying the expensive ones when they like the cheap ones. So their snacks are in their spot and my snacks are in my spot. But the good thing about that is having a little stash for yourself doesn't make you want theirs anymore, because you have your own good stash. And I don't really desire their snacks anymore. And they actually can be out and it doesn't bother me, because I have these. I have my own Reese peanut butter cups. I have my own stuff that I can go to if I choose to. It's having little things that your triggers lower in point and lower in calorie that you can go to if you desire it, because if you want it bad enough, you're going to find a way to eat it. So why not eat it in a better form, lower calorie, lower point form, and hit that note that you want? Because if you want it bad enough, you're going to find a way to get it. And then you're going to get way too much of it. Take it from one who's been there. So that is it for me. I hope you enjoyed my shtick on this week's my take on this week's topic du jour this week. I do this every Saturday. I go to my meeting and I come home and I talk about it. I do. So that's it. Let me know how you did this week. I'd love to hear it in the comment section below. Did you have a good week? Did you have a bad week? Are you excited for the changes? I think some aren't, but most are. And I get that. If you some people like this plan. I get that. There is always a plan that resonates with you, and you have every right to like it. And what I've told people, I'll go on the record here and saying it, keep doing what you're doing. And when it ceases to not work, then you can change it. But if you're not counting potatoes, then don't count them. If it's that stressing for you, then don't count them and see how it goes. It's not like anybody's with you if you don't count the potatoes. There's going to be an alarm go off if you don't track your potatoes. Or just track them in Quick Add as 0. Potatoes, 0. You can track the amount too. It's something I do, I just, utilize that Quick Add just to see how it goes. And if you're still successful, then God love you. And if you see that scale starting to go up, then you have to start being accountable for it. And then it's your journey. Do what's best for you, because only you know what's best for you. Weight Watchers, they're very general. It's not individualized, though they thought personal points was. I don't think that just separated us even further from where we needed to be. But this will be more uniting because we're all on the same plan. We all have the same recipes, they're all the same points. So that's a good thing. It's a community thing. And that's going to bring community back to what's lacking in Weight Watchers right now is the community spirit. So we'll see how it goes. Next year could be a whole other change. We just don't know. But we're going to take this and run with it, right? We have no choice. So that is it. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. I think it's here. Hit that red subscribe button. Hit the bell next to it. Let you know when I upload, when I go live. I go live on this channel a lot. And a lot of you, welcome to all the newbies. Y'all know I go live Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Here, 7 p.m. Eastern time for the Weight Watchers Weight Loss Chit Chat. We chat about our day. We see what worked, what didn't. We share things. We vent. It's quite a community. So you are welcome to just show up and start chatting away. We'd love to have you. So other than that, I'm going to dish with you another day. Have a great rest of your weekend. If I don't see you, there will be a food prep, meal prep up tomorrow. A couple little things. Not a big prep, but I showed you, I made a mistake with breakfast. I'll explain that in the prep video tomorrow. I've talked way too much. I'm exhausted. I need a drink. Have a great rest of your day. See you later, big gators. See you later, gators.